What's up, my people? Welcome to the Mind Pursuit podcast, where we talk about anything and everything around the human mind. I am hosted at Mint at Moa, and my name is Mercy. I hope you are enjoying the show. If you've not looked at the previous episodes, by all means, pause at this one and go and look at the previous episodes. And I know you're going to be challenged, you're going to be empowered, and you're going to have fun while at it. Now, today is an amazing day because I have one of my very good friends who happens to be more of a family friend. Like literally, she knows all of us and we know her as well and the family. So we are really delighted to have you here.
Thank
Karibu
you.
sana Madegwa.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Mercy.
So feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
So, as you've mentioned, my name is Diana Maweu, but you guys call me Madegwa.
Yeah.
Madegwa is my father's name. Maweu is my husband's name. So, I am a daughter, I am a wife, I am a mother, and I am a sister and friend.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, those are many hats.
Very many titles. I know.
And we'll come to that to see how are you able to balance all these titles, because there's always that conversation of, is it even possible to balance all this?
Yeah.
We call it the different balls. That's
Yeah,
what
the different
Suzy
balls.
told us.
Yes, there are different balls. Yes.
They're different balls.
The very different balls, yes.
Oh,
So, yeah.
great. Thank you. So I want to know, now in this podcast, we always talk about the Jesus Whisper moment. And the Jesus Whisper moment is what has God been telling you about of late that you want to share together with us?
I think for me, the Jesus moment at this point in my life is Jesus telling me, trust me in this. So I remember sometime last year, I was conflicted because I was in a certain point in my career where I had to make a choice. And it was a job that I was supposed to get or do, but then there were so many doubts because it was a very short-term contract. And I remember praying about it, and Jesus just told me, I have provided for you all this while. I have done great and wonderful things in your life. Just trust me in this. Take this path and trust me in this. So yeah, here we are, trusting him, not knowing what tomorrow holds, what tomorrow brings, but just trusting that God, is the source and is the provider in everything. Yeah.
Wow. So we are telling you, trust God in this.
Trust God in this.
Oh, I don't know whether you're going through any difficult time. You just need to trust God in this, and whichever season you're in. So thank you so much for sharing that. So take us back to, where are you coming from? Where did you grow up?
Okay, I have an interesting journey in childhood.
Yeah.
So when I was very young, I was brought up, I was in Ocha, in Ushago. For those who are not from Kenya, that's in the rural areas. And I remember in my lower primary up to when I was around 7 years old, I was in the rural area where I was being raised by my mom, because my mom is a farmer. My dad did normal 8 to 5 job. So my mom is the one who was with us in Ushago most of the time, most of our, because we were young. And but when I got to 7 years, my dad took me. So that I don't confuse people. My parents are married, but my mom prefers to stay in Ocha because she's a farmer. And my dad is a Nairobian. So he prefers to stay in Nairobi. Yes, he's a born town. So he prefers to stay in town.
Okay.
So when I was 7 years old, actually even before that, I normally tell people I raised my younger sibling, the ones who follow me, the one who follows me, and the one who follows the one who follows me. I was like their mom. I was a young mom, 7 years, and then I came to Nairobi, stayed with my dad, and then my older sister now joined us as well. And so I was brought up by my older sister, because now you see my mom was in Ocha most of the time. She used to come every once in a while to Nairobi to see us, but most of the time it was just me and my older sister and my dad for the longest time.
Sorry, which born are you?
I'm the second born.
Oh.
Yes, I'm the second born. I know I look like the last born in our family.
Yeah.
But, but I'm the second born. Yeah. So I'm the second born. So for the longest time, up to around when I was around 12 years, stayed with my dad, and then my mom joined us for some time, and our younger siblings also came to live with us.
Yeah.
I think what stood out, when, in my childhood was my dad for me, because we are all girls in our family, and we come from a place where girls didn't mean much. So, and I even remember, it was a painful point for my mom, because there's a point where a lot of the relatives used to tell her, you only have girls, you don't have boys. And why are you taking them to school? They're gonna get married, they're going to leave you guys. But my dad was so resilient in that he never listened to all those voices. And he ensured that each and every one of us had gone up to university. As I think for him, he just wanted to ensure that all his girls went to uni, despite all the noises around. So for me, that was, it really encouraged me, because my dad saw beyond gender, at a time when, sadly, girls were considered to be just there for marriage. Yeah. So, what I can also say about my childhood is when I remember when I was in primary school, I used to be such a joker when I was young. Really played around a lot, was never serious, although I was, an average child. But on a good day, I really did perform. There are times when I used to be top 5.
Wow.
But I used to play a lot. I used to joke around a lot. I used to be the black sheep of the family. Even up to today, my mom says, hey, this can only be the hand of God, because I was the most unserious child in that family.
Oh, wow.
Yes. If you were to think about anything negative that was to happen among the siblings, anyone would have told you, Diana.
Okay, thank God for Jesus.
Thank God for Jesus. Seriously. Because, I was not complete black sheep of the family. But I remember during all that period, because I used to just do bad things in school. My parents used to be called to school to solve a case because I'd done something wrong, or they reported me for doing something. Needed the parents to come in and have those discussions with the with the teachers and so on and so forth. But when I was in class 7, there was this teacher of mine, my English teacher. She was called Mrs. Sairo. She's one of the few teachers who believed in me. I used to love English when I was in primary school, because I used to love writing, compositions and all that. So I met Mrs. Sairo at a point in my life where the teachers had just had enough of me and my ways. But, I loved English, and Mrs. Sairo always encouraged me. And I remember, I think I used to be one of her favorites. Despite being the naughty child in class, I used to be her favorite. And I think she couldn't hide it, because she was always happy with my work. Even, when a teacher likes you and you've done a mistake, as in you can see that's really struggling
to punish you.
So for me, I always try to ensure that, at least for her subjects and during her lessons, I always did my very best. And I remember there's a time she asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I told her I want to be a journalist. But then I'm one of those kids who knew what they wanted to be when I was 12.
12 years?
When I was 12, I knew what I wanted to be.
Whoa, that you were in which class now?
I was in class 7. Yeah, I was in class 7 and I told her I want to be a journalist. And she said, yeah, you can actually do it, because you write really well. Because then we really thought that, to be a journalist, you just have to know how to write well. So she always used to encourage me, every now and then. I score really well in composition. She used to tell me, come read to the whole class. And I used to feel so good about myself, because, I get that recognition. So she's one of the people who really pushed me to pursue my dream of becoming who I am today. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. So you say, like, in class 7, that's when you realized you wanted to be a journalist.
Yeah.
Where was the inspiration coming from?
So I have an uncle who was a journalist then. He used to work for one of these big media houses. And he used to always come visit us, especially when my mom, he's my mom's brother. So he used to come visit us every Friday. And I think back then, there used to be, I think, a pullout for kids in those papers. So I remember him coming with the newspaper, you know, for my mom, but we used to pick it, and then I used to see his name, his byline, you know, he's written a story, and, you know, his name, and I used to be like, wow, I also want my name to be on the newspaper one day. Yeah. So, you know, that's how I got interested. And then he used to tell me, you have to, you know, to work hard, you have to make sure that you're good in your English, and you can also, you know, you can also become a journalist. So that is, you know, why? Because of my uncle, I used to see him, I used to admire him, he used to have a nice car, you know. I was like, if I become a journalist, I can also drive a car. Yeah. And you remember, we come from a not so well-to-do background, because, well, we never starved, but there was lack. Like, there's some things that, you know, nowadays we think it's normal, but things like having fries in the house, you know, having fries in the once a month was like, wow, you know, it was such a big deal, because I think my dad, because as you can see, we are so many, we are 5 children, so many of us, and putting food on the table for all of us might not have been so easy then. But also, my dad also just used to do, you know, he also climbed the corporate ladder, because he started being an office messenger, and then he climbed and climbed and climbed, became an accountant, became, you know, the one dealing with finances in the organization. So of course, for him, there are things that were not so important. But the one thing that we never lacked in that home was love. And that closeness. I remember my mom, when you were very young, she has always told us, ensure that you have each other's back. Your sibling, your sister should be your best friend. And that's how we have been, you know, all our lives. And hopefully that is how I'm trying to raise my children, to always have each other's backs and to always be each other's best friends. Because for us, that has really helped us, you know, to be who we are today. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you had the most important and priceless thing growing up.
Love. Exactly. And you know, many people, you know, they might have money, but there are things that money cannot buy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there are things that money cannot buy. And for us, I normally say I like that we even lacked, because it made us know how to rely on each other. It made us know how to share, because I can bet you there are some siblings who would not share anything. If I see my sister wearing a nice outfit, I will go to her wardrobe tomorrow to find that outfit so that I can wear it. And we are all okay with it. You know, we share everything. You know, I know that my children can live with my siblings and they'll be well taken care of. And my siblings know the same. So we are one big loving family. I wouldn't say happy, because of course we have our ups and downs, but we are one big loving family, always knowing that we have each other's backs. We are always there for one another. Yeah.
That's a powerful thing that your mom actually ingrained. And you're speaking to parents, and this podcast, most parents listen to it. So one thing that you're informing parents is the importance of actually putting in foundation, proper foundation, love being one of it. And I'm seeing how love was able to, knowing that you're coming to a family where you're loved and you belong. It actually helped you to thrive.
It does. Even up to now, I know that I can call one of my siblings and tell them I'm stuck, and they will show up. They will show up. I know that, you know, like I said, I am married with 2 children. There's a time when I had my first child, and it was hard. Hey, no one prepares you. You know, we say children are a blessing. Okay, great. But then my baby had colic. My baby used to cry all the time, and I used to be tired 24/7. And my siblings, they used to come every single day to take care of me, because they knew that days I used to just sit in the house and cry with my baby, because I couldn't put that baby down. If I was to put him down, he would wake up and start crying. And of course, for me, it was such a traumatic time for me because I didn't understand. You know, I've been praying for this angel for such a long time, and here they are, and they're not, you know, they're not like other children who are quiet. They look so perfect, you know. The things we see on social media, perfect children who never cry, and here mine is crying 24/7. So I was on the brink of postpartum depression, by the way. And of course, my husband had 2 weeks of paternity leave. So he couldn't stay any longer than, you know, than is allowed. So and at some point it, you know, caused a bit of strife because you see, I expect him to be there. Him is tired from work. Both of us are new parents. We have no idea. We have no idea. And then the world is there shouting at you, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. But my siblings came in at that point and they were a real source of relief for me because they used to come, take care of me, take care of the baby, ensure that they'd washed the baby's clothes. For some reason, don't even ask me why, I didn't want to hire a nanny to help me during the first 2 months. I don't know why, by the way. I thought I could do it all, which was very foolish. I came to realize I couldn't. I'm not superwoman. So my siblings used to come every single day. They used to come wash clothes for the baby. They used to come cook for me, take care of the baby so that I could just have 2 hours of sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That speaks into the love aspect. And I know you've talked about having your child. So we are going to hear more about your motherhood journey and how that has been. So take you back a bit. When you were you have highlighted when you were in primary and at 12 years old, you remember that's when you decided you want to do journalism, and we are seeing an inspiration from your uncle who is driving a good car. And that is the kind of life that your younger self, you want to achieve eventually. So tell me, in high school, did you have any highlights?
So I went to high school again in Ocha because remember the naughty Diana who was in primary. My parents did not think that I could survive a school in Nairobi. So they decided they're going to throw me there in the rural areas so that people, you know, I don't have bad influence on people. But I turned out to be the bad influence.
I don't know why we are laughing, but oh gosh.
It's so ironic. Was me. I brought the influence to the rural areas.
Yes.
So I think teachers were just tired. Teachers, but they were tired of me.
Yeah.
I always used to get in trouble. I don't know why. But then, to be honest, I really used to try to be a good girl. But you know, you're in class, everyone is quiet, and then you remember I don't have a pencil. So you just stand to borrow a pencil. Come, the administrator is passing by the window. Diana, get out. I have no idea how, because I really used to try to be good. But somehow, I just used to end up on the wrong side. I know, and for some weird reason, by the way, teachers in the rural areas, for some weird reason, they dislike children who come from Nairobi. I don't understand why, by the way.
It's like a thing.
Yeah. And I know that some teachers who, you know, they just tell you, Unajifanya, you know, you come from Nairobi. Just the negativity around it. They used to label us as Nairobians and all that. I'm like, okay, I'm just a child. Please, you know, I'm just here to learn and go back home. But you see, I was labeled that by some teachers. And they really disliked the fact that I was coming from Nairobi. Only God knows why. Because me, I could not understand, you know, why you are mistreating me because I'm coming from Nairobi. You have no idea about my background. You don't know, you know, my circumstances, but you're judging me based on where, you know, I was brought up. But then there was, again, I had 2 English teachers, but the English teachers, they really helped me. So there is one was called Madam Angela, and there was one called Mr. Toili. Those 2, they really embraced me. As in, yes, you're naughty and all, but they also saw something in me. They saw something in me. They saw that I loved English. They saw that I really thrived, you know, with that subject. And they encouraged me they encouraged me, and I remember having conversations with them, them asking me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And me telling them I want to be a journalist, and then saying, yeah, you can be,
Wow.
They're like, you're really good, you're really good at English. When you're serious, you're also good at other subjects.
They were real with you.
They were real with me. But then, because when I was serious, I used to perform really well, and I used to be among the top 10 in the stream. So of course it tells you that I could be good if I put my mind to it.
Yeah.
But of course, life. But I loved English.
Okay.
And then when I joined high school, I joined drama club. Again, Mr. Toili, the English teacher, was the one who was in charge of drama. So it was great exposure again for me, because I got to see how people, used to act drama. I joined drama. I joined dance. I used to go out, to meet other schools in competitions and all that. And I think that also helped me with my personality, because it helped me know how to express myself more. It helped me know, there are other things. There's art, there's creativity. It's not just being a doctor. Because you tell kids, you must learn to be a doctor
or engineer.
Guys, there are other things.
Yes, absolutely.
And you see, from there, I was able to see, it's the other things like creativity, creative arts, writing, poems.
Wow.
There are other things outside just the normal things. And the interesting thing as well was that my parents, when I told them I wanted to be a journalist, they never discouraged me. Again, for them, they never told us that you must be a doctor or anything. They just told them I want to be a journalist. And there's a time that my dad had come for a parent-teacher meeting, and one of the English teacher met him and told him, Diana has told me that she wants to be a journalist. And my dad said, yeah, she's been saying that for a very long time. And the teacher said, I think that she can be a journalist. And my dad said, yeah, I know that she can be, So even that, my parents were just speaking life into my dream again, really helped me. But my high school life was full of a lot of ups and downs. Honestly, I hated my high school life. I was in a boarding school. I felt like I was in the middle of nowhere, where teachers just hate Nairobi girls for some weird reason. I really disliked it. The only highlights for me in high school were those drama outings, those drama meetings that we used to go for. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Wow, you've had a Diana story, and this is just about the beginning. So stay tuned so that you get the other episodes. We are seeing how parenting plays a huge role in how a child is going to unfold, or is going to grow and who is going to grow and become. So as a parent, how are you raising your children? Are you raising your children in a loving environment? Diana is one of the examples of how a loving foundation, of how affirmations, you're seeing the parent giving her, affirming her, affirming you, telling you go for it. The English teachers affirming you, telling you go for it. So at the end of the day, are we able to affirm our children? Two people who actually can either make or break a child is the parent or the teacher. So if you're a teacher and you're listening, are you able to encourage your students to become best versions of themselves? Keep it locked at the Mind Pursuit podcast. See you on the next one. Bye.